Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. Now in today's video I'm going to do the review of the Swiss Army, I think this is the Hunter's version knife, coming up. Hope you guys all stay with me. Okay guys, let's just go through this knife real quick. It's got a few really nice features that I really like about it, and I used to use this thing a lot. This was like my primary knife when I was camping and hunting and stuff. This is the Hunter's version. It's the one that's got the deer on it. There's a whole bunch of different versions. This is a little bit larger. There are some that are a little bit smaller. One of the biggest reasons that I don't use this very much anymore, because it's not very comfortable to hold for hours and hours and hours compared to like my Bushcraft knife. So let's just go through a few things. It does have a nice long blade, and it's even a locking blade, which is pretty cool. So once it's locked, I mean, it's got a good lock. So I like that. So it's got the blade. It's also got a, oops, if I can get it open, a saw. And this saw actually works really well. I mean, I would consider it like the little brother to my Baco. But I mean, you can see that thing's got a blade almost half the length of my Baco. So, works pretty good too. I was impressed. The other nice thing is it does have a sharp edge on the back of this that you can use with your striker to make sparks. So you can use it for that. The blade you can't, you have to use the back edge of the saw. So it's got a saw. It's got a can opener right here. It's also got a screwdriver, a little pry bar, depends on what you use it for. It's also got, I think this is actually supposed to be a wire bender or something. I've never really used that little part right here, and I'm pointing at that little groove right there. I think I heard somebody say one time it was like a wire bender. Not 100% sure what that's for, but it's also got a little gut hook for some game, which actually works pretty well. I used it on an elk, and it worked pretty well. I was impressed. So I do like that. It's got its, you know, Swiss Army knives always have a little pair of tweezers, which is pretty cool. It's also got a toothpick, which is handy if you got something in your teeth. And this one I actually have been able to keep. It's got a little key ring, so you could put it on some keys if you wanted to. I'm not really worried about my keys in the woods. It's got a bottle opener, in case you'd like to partake of some wine. And then the last thing that most of them do not have is this right here, and that is an awl. I really like the awl. It's really handy when I'm needing to drill through something. It's got a sharpened edge, and it does a really nice job. It'll even drill through bone. Keeps a pretty good edge. So overall, I think it's a pretty good little knife. It's not very expensive. Carves pretty good. And then, oops, it's got a pretty decent little saw. I mean, it's going to be a horrible demonstration because of the way I'm holding it, but it's got a pretty good little saw. And then that awl, it's amazing to me how well this thing works. You're a little bit limited to how far you can go into wood, but you can still go quite a ways just with this. And I'll just go ahead and go, if not all the way, most of the way through this little chunk of wood. No, I'm going to go all the way through. And then what I usually recommend doing is after you get through one way, come the other direction. I don't know if you can see that. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to have something you can do some drilling with if you needed to drill a hole through something. So I do like that. So overall, this is probably my favorite out of all of them. The only downsides I will say is I mean, it's okay in your hand, but if you're gonna carve for hours and hours and hours, you're gonna need something that has no pieces of metal in there. It's just nice and soft, or not soft, nice and comfortable in your hand. This will give you blisters. So that would be my one thing. Don't expect to be able to use this for hours on end to carve with. This is going to do a much better job. But this is also a lot more expensive. These I think are right around about $40 to $60. Depends on where you buy them. Yeah, it's a Swiss Army knife. Steel wise, it does have stainless steel. It is made in, I don't know, I think I've worn that spot out. I'm not sure where exactly it's made, but probably in the Swiss somewhere. So, but overall, a really good knife. Might be something you want to toss in your pack. I really do like it. I think works really well. You can get a lot done with one of these. So I do kind of tend to like it. Oops. So, one of these might be something you might want to think about getting. Hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps support the channel. And if you subscribe, you'll get more of my free videos, and I put videos up twice a week. Thanks, guys. See ya.